is why did they want to buy Yahoo? Because Yahoo has a large presence on it, and they know that CBS, the broadcaster, just net, which has been behind even on this sort of broadcast media distribution, such as they do a whole bunch of things. And they just and with this thing, they know that people are going to the web for news and information. Shipping the audience, broadcast, TV, radio, newspapers, everything is flat. They're both probably going down. What's going on? Here's some numbers for you. Some numbers on podcasts. Do research and another company collects common sources. Company that they sort of like the proceedings from the old days, but they monitor like on the web. The city in 2011 report based on number of this. They said that 88% of Canadians who use the internet use it to seek information. 36% of the people that use the internet in Canada seek specific information, products, and services. In Alberta, 24% of the population of Alberta is connected to the internet in some way or another. That has an even full potential. Like 96% of Alberta could be connected to the internet. So here's the numbers for it. Over 350 people in Canada listen to podcasts. Pardon? 3,000,000. And in the States, there's about 16 million people in podcasts. But they predict 2012, which is a 5-year period, it's going to grow by 251%. Not much the number, because the United States is people. But in the next 5 to 10 years, we'll all be consuming our media online. It's big in Europe. There's a whole TV platform dealing with ITV. It's the big TV broadcasters. Employee recruitment. We work in HR. One of the recruitment and it's a recruitment brand, it's called. And you use the web to portray your company with labor source. Portray your company as the employer. I can remember years ago, I did the younger president. Well, not related. Those people looking for work. Now, I remember the last job I posted in my one of them was the term the labor rules being held. Now, we use a tool network to get out in those communities and say, hey, we're the place to work. Because people have money is money, and we all have money to some way or another. The culture, that's not the view for people we work with, how we're in the world around that matters to a lot of people. Compliance. I think I'm a boomer, I'm not like that. And sometimes I go through all these on the next day. So what's that? 1824, depends on which report you read the plans in one. Generation, one in one hand and the phone in the other. And you see them around all the time. That's how you communicate. That's how they use information. You know, say carefully, you don't want anybody from the media here. But they don't they only watch TV. And they don't listen to the radio. So where do they get their information from? Now, consider finding newspaper or radio advertising or marketing. That's where they get their news and information from the web. And you just can't walk into there's a book by the marketing and he tells when you together old way of marketing, the old way is the way to old way. And if you're old-fashioned advertising marketing, you put it in the web to old world, it doesn't taste good. Because they have a different culture. Remember, to the web to old world, involved with the communities that are out there, social networks, involved with a variety of social networks, social media. Hopefully, you get your own and into your community using web to the also were along with digital we started to learn as we go. Well, I'm not doing it by they're also giving me a little bit of information. But you know, when you get the world of if you want advertising marketing now, a lot of the other like emails have to sleep about the name of the company. But what they did, they used their 15-second TV advertising spot to drive viewers to the website. The website for more information about waterworks or something to do with water. And that's what we see more in the world. Traditional media will start, will be used not to just sell here, here, anybody know that? Social network, social media, because using the and TV website, say, you get nuts with the danger stage of marketing. People want to watch videos on YouTube about their own gamers. It's great. So boomers what should they do? We still reuse paper in our paper the money for it. So I and I go online. When I read my view screen, why do you Business News Network, and they talk about having coffee, they talk about chips and markets and stuff. So